As that weekend storm takes aim, the group tasked with keeping us safe and informed will be going without a paycheck because of the government shutdown. Meteorologists at the National Weather Service tell 13 News Now the shutdown is not only leaving their pockets empty, but it's delaying critical maintenance. 13 News Now reporter Robert Boyd is following this story for us tonight from the newsroom. Robert.
Well, David, despite this government shutdown, the National Weather Service will continue to keep 2 meteorologists staffed 24/7 at their regional offices in Wakefield. However, it's what's happening outside the office, or should we say what's not happening, that's the real concern. This is the time of year that the National Weather Service is supposed to be training various agencies at the local and state level.
Training on some of the newer warning services, the way that warnings are actually delivered, reviewing some of the events over the past year, some things that worked pretty well, and maybe reviewing some events that didn't go so well.
But meteorologist Jeff Orrock says due to the shutdown, that training has been put on hold.
We're kind of starting to fall behind on a lot of the planning and things that we would normally do with our partners.
The shutdown has also prohibited the National Weather Service from conducting routine maintenance on their field equipment, specifically at Norfolk International and Newport News Williamsburg International.
The weather data coming from those systems is really what tells the pilots what the conditions are at takeoff and landing. It's the altimeter that gives them an idea of airspeed, landing speeds, it gives them an idea of crosswinds.
The National Weather Service says a third worry that could begin to arise is a drop in morale. Meteorologists unable to predict how many paydays they could miss.
Other shutdowns, we worked through them pretty quickly, and there's been a lot of good negotiations, where this one seems to be kind of much more deadlocked and could be around for a bit longer, and thinking more long term.
Now, the National Weather Service is putting together a plan so they can check on their field equipment on a regular basis. However, it will be a much slower process than usual. Live in the newsroom, Robert Boyd, 13 News Now.